Hello, sports fans, and welcome to Brilliant High School for tonight's WIAA Division III sectional semifinal between Wrightstown and Xavier, a special Wednesday edition of the state tournament basketball play. I'm Ricardo Arguello, hanging out as always with Brett Christopherson. I just said your name wrong, I think.
Christopherson, how long has it been?
Christopherson.
I guess we haven't seen each other in a while.
Yeah, but hey, the fact that we don't have Jim Rosadick with us has thrown us off. But in his place, admirably filling in, Dan Wusso, one of our part-timers at the Post-Gression. He'll be running those high-definition cameras, so we thank him for being on board. But Brett, it was packed when I got here. It was probably packed when you got here. People outside waiting for this big game. We're at Brilliant High School, east of Appleton on Highway 10. Big game, nice venue. We're expecting a big one here tonight.
Yeah, this is going to be a good game. And I think, like you said, one of the few games of the night in the state. The reason why they moved this to Wednesday, obviously the Wrightstown girls are in the state tournament, and they play tomorrow. So the WIAA makes the decision to move it back a day and let the fans enjoy both basketball games. And so they kind of got the spotlight in the state, and what a great game. One of the best games, I would say, no matter what the matchup is. You got a very good Wrightstown team that's 23-1 against a surging Xavier team that I think Ricardo is getting hot at the right time. I think they're peaking. They're playing their best basketball. We just saw them take down a very good Freedom team on Saturday in a sectional, or I should say a regional final. And that game, I was with Rosie. You weren't there. You were down in Madison covering state hockey and wrestling. I thought that was a coin flip game. I'm going to say the same thing here. I think it's a coin flip game. I think it's going to go down to the wire, and I think it's anybody's game. I really don't know. I don't have a hunch as to who is going to pull this one out, but it's going to be fun to watch.
It absolutely is. Let's read off some notes put together so nicely by Brett. I'll start with Wrightstown. He'll finish with Xavier. Wrightstown Tigers are ranked 3rd in the state in Division III in the final Associated Press state poll, 4th in the WISports.net coaches poll, and again coming off an 89-60 rout of Northland Pines on Saturday in a WIAA Division III regional final at Wrightstown. Entered tonight's game on a 7-game win streak. Sam Hayes led the way with 22 points on 8 of 14 shooting. He also knocked down 6 3-pointers, grabbed 5 rebounds as the Tigers rolled to a 47-28 halftime lead. Jeremy Van Zeelen finished with 16 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists, while Ben Peer added 13 points on 4 of 5 shooting. Mason DeClean chipped in with 10 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. Don't forget about Tyler Cruz. He finished with a team-high 5 assists. Hayes is Wrightstown's top scorer at 15 points per game. Very balanced team here with the Tigers. Hayes is shooting 45% overall. His 71 triples are the most on the team. Hayes is shooting 40% from three-point range. Cruz is next in scoring at 14.2. His 38 triples are second on the team, and he's shooting 39% from distance. Van Zeelen, the team's leader in rebounding at 5.1, and Cruz's 3 assists per game paces the Tigers in that category. Now overall, Wrightstown's averaging 71.1 points, allowing 51.6. It's also shooting 46% as a team and 37% from three-point range. Now next, well, that's what we're kind of waiting for, right? They're going to be against either 6th-ranked Hoosburg or 10th-ranked Sheboygan Falls on Saturday. Sectional final at Two Rivers. Trivers.
That's what they say over there.
Trivers. Tip-off is scheduled for 1 p.m. Brett, what can you tell me about those Hawks?
Yeah, the Hawks, 19-5, and as I said, winners of 5 straight, Ricardo, on 13 of their past 14 games. And they're coming off, as I mentioned, that 65-57 victory over Freedom on Saturday. Very intense WIAA Division III regional final over at Freedom High School. Xavier led 34-24 at the break and then held on to outlast the Irish, Ricardo, who rallied and even took a lead in the second half. John Bunks and Trent Twombly finished with 20 points apiece to lead the Hawks. Bunks also grabbed 14 rebounds and was 6 of 10 from the field. Twombly shot 7 of 10, knocked down 3 3-pointers, and posted 4 rebounds. Ray Zuliger added 12 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. Also hit 3 threes. Charlie Fepperly, get this, 10 assists. How about that? Bunks is Xavier's leading scorer at 19.9 points per game, is one of 5 players on the team averaging double figures in scoring. He's shooting 50% overall. Fepperly is next at 14.6 points, followed by Theo Douglas at 12.5 points. Zuliger at 11.7 points, and Twombly at 10.8 points. Now, how about that? How about a team, Ricardo, that has 5 guys in double figures in scoring? I mean, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Points can come everywhere with this Xavier team. Inside with Bunks. Bunks can spot out, do some stuff from perimeter, mid-range, and they got a whole bunch of shooters. And as we know with Matt Klarner, he loves to get out in transition. Actually, both teams
They do.
get out on the run. So I better be ready to operate the scoreboard tonight because I think we could have a high-scoring game as well. Pfefferly has the most threes for the Hawks with 45. He's shooting 35% from three-point range. Bunks has 36 triples. Douglas has knocked down 34 threes. And Zuliger has hit 29 three-pointers. Bunks is the Hawks' top rebounder at 10.7 per game. Twombly is next at 5.4 boards. Pfefferly and Zuliger lead the way in assists at 7.5 and 5.9 respectively. Overall, Xavier is averaging 78.2 points and allowing 65.9. It's shooting 50% as a team and 34% from three-point range. And a little bit of a history lesson for you. By the way, it's good to see you back.
Thank you. Good to see you.
We missed you. I know you're always busy, and you did a yeoman's work. Great job down at Madison covering all the wrestling, individual, team, and state hockey as well. So
I tried to follow as much as I could on my phone with you guys doing those great regional games and the sectional games for the girls. Looked great, looked fantastic. Expecting the very same here tonight.
Yeah, so it's good to have you back. Actually, it's always fun when Rosie and I do that doubleheader on Saturday, the girls sectional final followed by the boys regional final. It's always a fun day. But a little history lesson for you. Just the third meeting between these two schools. Xavier won the first two matchups, a 59-48 victory 4 years ago. That was a sectional final. And then also won 87-51 2 years ago in a sectional semifinal. The Hawks hit 9 threes in that game and recorded 20 assists and 15 steals. But that was also the year top-ranked Xavier was upset by Baldur's 59-57 in a sectional final. I think that was at Appleton East, wasn't it?
It was.
Big thank you to our sponsor, Verlo Mattress Factory of Appleton, Green Bay, Oshkosh, Fond du Lac, and Sturgeon Bay. Their craftsmen manufacture your bed on site with unmatched quality and customer service. Be sure to stop in today for their Mattress Madness sale. So we're doing this instead of Varsity Roundtable tonight.
Yeah. But hey, either way, they get the exposure. We're talking about our sponsor.
I got to give it up to the folks at Brilliant High School. Jeff Capelli, the athletic director, also the girls basketball coach, also a teacher. They have to do it all here when they work at Brilliant. Pete Kittle, a longtime friend of the Post Crescent, now the principal, used to be the AD, math teacher, football coach, and boys basketball coach, state champion in both sports. And all the crew here, they did a fabulous job of setting this sectional semifinal up. It is really cool. You sometimes wonder, and I wonder the same thing about Green Bay West when they hosted the Bayport-Kimberly Girls Sectional Championship game. Is this big enough? What kind of atmosphere are they going to be able to do it? Same with Brilliant, and it's perfect. It's right on. They've added seating on each side of the basket, and we got a full crowd next to us, across from us, and it's going to be a fantastic atmosphere. I love the fact that two small. Well, I guess Wrightstown's a small community, but Xavier, smaller school, school community, come into a small community as Brilliant is. You just feel the intensity in the tournament atmosphere, and it feels kind of like you're at state.
It absolutely does. Brett, are we going to be able to stand up for the national anthem?
Well, we're going to have to, but just don't bump the clock hammer.
Yeah, you're asking me to do a lot here.
By the way, Jim Rosendick, the other member of our crew, not feeling well tonight. So again, we thank Dan Wusso for pinch hitting. He's running the high-definition cameras. But Rosie, if you're watching,
you know he is.
I hope you feel better because we have another game to do tomorrow night and probably a game on Saturday afternoon. So drink lots of liquids, get some rest, and get better. We need you. We need the stream team together. And Ricardo, I'm not sure if you're going to be around for Thursday's game.
I'll try to, but yes, no guarantees. We're nearing under 30 seconds now for the start of tonight's game against Xavier and Wrightstown at Brilliant High School. Nice drive over here, Brett.
Yeah, right down Highway 10. Easy drive from Appleton. No big deal.
I like when you come right into the town, the school's right there. Can't miss it.
By the way, I'm missing his name, Dave. If you're watching, the IT guru here, thank you as well, man. They ran up cable for us and got it all situated.
Super Dave.
Again, red carpet treatment when we come to Brilliant, which isn't too many times. It's too few and far between, but it's great to be here.
Absolutely, Brett, as we get ready for our national anthem. Packed house here at Brillion High School. Matchup of, again, Brett mentioned these teams have met 3 times. Well, this is the 3rd meeting, I should say.
All in the playoffs, too.
That's right.
All in the sectional rounds.
Saturday, March 14th, to play the winner of Oostburg versus Sheboygan Falls. The sectional final will be played at Two Rivers High School at 1 p.m. Now, to honor
Before we get to the starting lineups, it's time for our national anthem.
remove your hats and place your hand over your heart for the playing of the national anthem for the Wrightstown Pep Band under the direction of Elizabeth Graber.
We are getting ready for tonight's D3 sectional semifinal. Wrightstown, Xavier. The starting lineups will be announced here on your Brillo Mattress Factory scoreboard. You know, Brett, I'm looking over the Eastern Wisconsin Conference, which Brillion is a part of, and you look at Valders. They won it. Oh, no, they didn't win it. I think they finished runner-up one year. Brillion has won a couple of state titles, obviously Roncalli in D4.
Good league.
It is a very good league at the D3, D4 level.
Yeah, Valders should have won that state title, I think, a couple years ago. It was, a last-second shot that knocked them out?
It was Petey something. I forgot the kid's name. From Prescott, I want to say. So the starting lineup for Xavier, Cal Mars, did I say that correctly? Cal Mares, Charlie Pfefferly, John Bunks, Theo Douglas, and Trent Twombly. As Wrightstown's being introduced. Now, Brett, I'm not a big fan, I'll tell you right now, not a big fan of Xavier's uniforms.
Yeah.
Those are never good, folks, let me tell you. They're hard to see on television, hard to see from the floor. Just fill in. I don't like the outlines. Just fill in the numbers.
You know what? They don't care what you think.
Well, they should. Kind of reminds me of Menasha's football back in 2014. They had those terrible jerseys. They actually ended up getting new ones the next year.
Appreciate everybody checking us out live tonight on postcrescent.com, greenbaypressgazette.com. Also, both Facebook pages. We got our guy, Bill Glasheen, our photojournalist, under one of the baskets, and you can check out his photo gallery later tonight on both websites.
That's right. Hey, Brett, starting lineup for Wrightstown, Jeremy Van Zeelen, Jack Van Zeelen, Tyler Cruz, Grant Nemechek, and Sam Hayes. That is your starting lineup for Wrightstown. Again, Xavier is Mares, Pfefferly, Bunks, Douglas, Twombly.
Yeah, Wrightstown in its home whites, Xavier in the road blue. And again, a rare Wednesday night sectional semifinal game. Appreciate you all being here with us at Brillion High School. Ricardo, you ready?
Oh, I'm ready, my friend. It's not usual that I cover a boys sectional game.
Good day. I'm glad you're here. There's Cruz. Ooh, that was a good shot. Ricardo rims out. I think that was Jack Van Zeeland with a pretty good look. Just couldn't get the fall.
One thing we know about Xavier, Brez, they can score.
Yeah, they can, and there is right away. That's number 1. That's Charlie Pfefferly. He can knock him down. And they don't need much space. Ooh, tough take off the baseline. Hayes finds it, finds Jeremy Van Zeeland. Good interior defense. There was like a triple team on Van Zeeland.
Cruz.
Well, again, really pinching off that baseline. Wrightstown trying to get something there. Van Zeeland going to work hard. Very strong underneath. There's a good look from a 3. Oh, that looked pretty good off the hands of Nemechek.
Yeah, but check out Cruz.
Yeah,
Johnny
Cruz,
on the spot.
He's a hustler and gets the foul.
Now, we had, I believe, Cruz and Van Zeeland, I believe, on the show, Brett, the Varsity Roundtable.
Yeah.
Good kids.
So Mares picks up the foul, and a shooting foul for Tyler Cruz. What that's like, you know, you're in a small gym, Ricardo. I'm just thinking about the backdrop. You got those fans just right underneath. Feels like everything is on top of you. Now that's kind of par for the course with Xavier. That's what Torchy Clark Gym's all about. There's another opportunity. They're going to get a foul here, I believe. And the Xavier bench not real pleased with that. So Theo Douglas, Ricardo picks up his first 2 quick team fouls against Xavier.
Tigers a little disjointed, Brett, to start here, and a lot of that has to do with Xavier's defense, but missing some open shots here. As speaking of which, inside, Nemechek can't get it to fall.
Boy, right there, just a bad rim, right? The lid's on it. Hung on that front iron. Oh, good job by Twombly. He missed it underneath. Blocked by Cruz. And here come the Tigers. Wow, back and forth, some contact there. Back to Twombly. And off the glass, I think that was Hayes who's going to pick up the foul. Catch your breath, everybody.
Now the refs are letting them play, Brett. I mean, there's a lot of activity down in the paint.
So Sam Hayes picks up the foul. That's going to send Twombly to the line and at least calm things down a little bit.
We have 16:21 left in the first half on your Brillo Mattress Factory scoreboard.
So a couple of point-blank misses by both teams underneath. I always, we're talking to Rosie about this too in big games. How long does it take for the Butterflies to kind of settle down? At what point does it become a basketball game? They got to be starting to settle down now.
Both played in big games last Saturday as
they're going to get bunks on the call. That's going to be a fun matchup between two strong kids, Jeremy Van Zeeland and John Bunks. Kind of similar players, very strong physical guys.
double team on Cruz, pops it up anyway.
Nice rebound. Another. Right now, Wrightstown really controlling the offensive glass. Good find by Van Zeeland, Ricardo to Nemechek. So a second chance opportunity leads to the Tigers' first bucket of the game. Really working hard on the glass.
Yeah, and right now Xavier's allowing too many offensive rebounds as that Bunks three-pointer no good. 6 quick rebounds for Wrightstown, Brett.
Van Zeeland tripped up. Boy, diving on the floor. That was Pfefferly for the Hawks trying to go after it, but I believe it's going to stay with Wrightstown. 5-2 Xavier lead as we look at our Verlo Mattress Factory scoreboard. You see Hayes being guarded by Theo Douglas. Again, Hayes is a kid that can get red hot, and that's a nice shot by Jeremy Van Zeeland.
Yep.
I believe he was the league's Defensive Player of the Year in the Northeastern Conference. Zach Mashlin of Freedom, the Offensive Player of the Year. There's Twombly spotting up. No good. Cruz has it. Boy, nice feed to Nemechek inside by Cruz. And just like that, Ricardo, 6-0 run by the Tigers. Nemechek with 4 points.
And good court awareness, Brett, right now by Wrightstown is that three-point basket.
That's Pfefferly, and he can bury him
There
too.
you go.
Or I checked that. I believe that was number 10, right? Theo Douglas.
Douglas, yes.
My bad, Theo Douglas. I'm sorry. That's the thing with Xavier. Boy, you got to be ready. They don't need much space to just chuck up those threes. Boy, deep three by Hayes. And Xavier already in transition, stressing the defense and blocking call.
Yes.
Theo Douglas going to the line. That's going to be Hayes' second.
Oh, boy. That's something to watch quickly, Brett. We're only, a couple of minutes into the game as we see a substitution already coming in for Wrightstown. That's going to be Ben Peer.
So Theo Douglas at the line. He just hit that 3 moments ago. Now trying to add on to his point total and the Xavier lead. Always something to be aware of, right? When you're talking Xavier, you got to be ready because they're going to just fly down the floor. Good job by Douglas. He's got 5, and it's a 10-6 lead for the Hawks as we look at our Verlo Mattress Factory scoreboard. We're at Brilliant High School. Sectional semifinal. Nice little hesitation. Van Zielen, no.
Block,
I think, was that Bunks?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bunks played that well. And quickly down the floor again are the Hawks as Mayers kicks it to Bunks, who little up fake, left hand, can't get it to fall.
Oh, Brett, what a maneuver, though, down low as we're going to have a jump ball. Brett, that was a nice move by Bunks.
Yeah,
able to avoid defenders, just couldn't finish it.
Yeah, and that's going to stay with the Hawks, who have the 4-point lead. Really impressed with John Bunks in the 2 games I've seen him so far. Very strong, tough player, can do a lot. And look at that. Look how Theo Douglas having a game already. He's got 7. Tough angle off the glass.
Brett using a little bit of the baby hook.
And that didn't even need to square up his body. Boy, they just close it off. Play the gaps really well. Again, there's that matchup on the block. Bunks and Van Zielen, nowhere to go, and he's going to have to kick it out. And it's a turnover. Good defense. Bunks held his ground.
Brett,
didn't jump, kept his arms in the air, and Van Zielen had nowhere to go.
Good defense right now by the Hawks, Brett. You know, we talk about offensively, they're always known as kind of an offensive team. But defensively, they're underrated, one of the very best in the Valley. Nearing the 13-10 mark here in the first half. 12-6 lead for Xavier. And your Verlo Mattress Factory scoreboard.
Ooh, good look by Charlie Pfefferly, the 5'10 sophomore guard. Just couldn't get it to fall. Almost a steal. Nope, they're going to get a foul instead.
They're going to call that on Wrightstown, Brett.
Oh, they are?
Yes.
Okay, Ray Zuliger trying to fight for that ball instead.
Going to be called on Andrew Lamers.
Okay.
Of course, we know Zuliger, Brett, outstanding quarterback for the Hawks.
Yeah.
He'll be back next year.
Both teams with 3 fouls apiece as I look at the in-house scoreboard. Zuliger, speaking of right on cue, and at some point you wonder if Corey Hayes is thinking about a timeout. 8-point lead early for the Hawks. Deep 3, good, and that was a good basket, a needed basket. Matthew Hansen, Ricardo.
Yeah, kind of stemmed the tide a little bit. That was a lengthy run by Wrightstown. Here's Bunks.
Oh, good move, and he's usually a finisher off when he gets that close underneath. Just a little too hard off the glass.
You know, Brett, before that Hansen 3, it was a 9-0 run by the Tigers.
Big 3, nice little give and go, and it doesn't fall. Nemechek fighting for it, Ricardo. Blocked again. And finally a foul, but credit Andrew Lamers. Little kind of dip in there, and I think that's where the contact was as he was going to go up.
Tell you what, though, Xavier's defense is setting tempo, Brett. They are making life very difficult for Wrightstown right now.
Yeah, I agree. Doing a good job of really playing those gaps, pinching things off, closing off the baseline. and you get in the post, there's like 2-3 guys right around you.
Lamer is good with the first free throw. Always very important, as we all know, when you hang out with Brett Christopherson, how big free throws are.
I tell you, they were big for the Wrightstown girls when we streamed last Thursday's game against Freedom. That was a sectional semifinal. I think the Wrightstown girls hit 27 free throws in that game. Speaking of which, best wishes to a friend of us, Varsity Roundtable, Bridget Frolke. The sensational standout senior for the Wrightstown girls. Unfortunately lost for the season in a tough practice injury. There's a steal, and just like that, basket by Hansen, and look at this run. Well, I credit Corey Hayes. He knows his team. When they were down 8, I thought he was about, I would have burned a timeout.
Yes.
But he held firm, and Wrightstown answering with a huge, 7-0 run, I believe. But Bridget Frolke, yeah, that's such a tough loss for the Wrightstown girls. They're playing in state tournament tomorrow at the Resch Center, and
I'll be at that game.
I hate to see that.
Absolutely.
But best wishes to the Tigers anyway.
State's leader in three-pointers and assist average. Bridget Frolke as that is
out
in.
The basket. How did that fall by Pfefferly? Wow. There's my wow.
Came in nice and audible. Again, the camera work being done by our buddy Dan Wusso, the part-timer extraordinaire for the Post Crescent.
Ben Peer picks up the foul. Pfefferly misses the three-point opportunity, but a basket, and it's a three-point lead as we look at our Verlo Mattress Factory scoreboard. Hawks on top, 16-13. Good game as we sort of expected, and that rims in, rattles in. How about that? Mason DeClean.
All tied up here as we're near the 11-minute mark in the first half.
Boy, good job by the Tigers to get back into this.
Beautiful pass.
3 from the corner, good. That's Alex Sherwood. Get ready.
Expecting one of those kind of games, BC.
It'll be back and forth. Here we go. I thought Nemechek was thinking about it. 3 from the corner for the Tigers. That was too far by Hansen. Boy, look at Zuliger, some fancy dribbling. Ooh, knocked away.
Quick hand.
Yeah, that was Ben Peer.
Something to watch, Brett. The Wrightstown Tigers, I mean, they're down 3, but they have actually been winning the rebounding game 11-5. So a lot of second chances for Wrightstown, but not converting, not making those count.
But those will fall eventually if they're going to win the battle. Wow,
look at that.
Cruz just took the ball out of the air. Bounce pass inside, and that's how you do it. That's Mason DeClean. He's got 5. Nice feed by Cruz off of the steal.
Can't get lackadaisical, Brett, on those inbound passes. A lot of athleticism on the Wrightstown roster.
So you're seeing the hustle type stuff, Ricardo. You're talking rebounds, and now you're talking steals as Twombly misses, and a good box out by DeClean there for the rebound.
He's been very active the last minute or so, Brett, for Wrightstown.
That's a good matchup, too. Cruz and Zuliger. Cruz has it, working off that screen. Can't get it to fall. Yeah, Cruz nodded his head. He knew he got him. So that's going to be his first 15 foul now for the Tigers.
9:58 left here in the first half.
Boy, a lot of media outlets here tonight. You can see all the TV stations under that basket that you see right now covering the game.
Got radio here along with ourselves.
You can see Bill Glasheen, our photojournalist, kneeling down trying to get those great shots for the photo galleries that you'll find later tonight on postcrescent.com and greenbaypressgazette.com. Pretty good defense by Cruz on Mayers, and almost a steal, and it did. It was a turnover.
Third turnover for the Hawks, Brett. (19-18) lead for Xavier. The Verlo Mattress Factory scoreboard.
Wow, this is good being in Brilliant, isn't it? This is a good setting. I like the feeling of being right on the floor, basically. You're right on top of the action. Then you picture those sectional championships that we've done at Marshfield. That's like a football dome. That field house is huge. It's Cruz. Oh, look at that rebound.
How does that happen?
Another opportunity, Ricardo. And look at that. That's Jack Van Zeeland. Second chance points, as you were talking about.
Brett, if you're Xavier, you cannot allow that to happen. There was 3 Xavier players underneath the hoop.
Yeah, decisive advantage. Zuliger working hard. And down come the Tigers quickly down the floor, and they'll set it up. Nope. And there's a steal.
Beautiful steal.
I think Zuliger got his hands, and they're going to get a foul.
Yep.
I think that's going to be on Mason to clean.
Fast-paced game, Brett.
Well, and when it's fast-paced, you're going to get some turnovers.
Brett, this is this 21-19 lead for Wrightstown, only the second one of the game.
As far as the lead?
Yeah. For the Tigers.
I think the Butterflies are gone now.
Bunks.
Well, good defense on
Smart.
Bunks. Again, triple teaming him. And how about that rainbow by Cal Mayers? His first bucket.
Brett, you said rainbow. I don't think there's any other way to describe it. Looking for a pot of gold at the end of that one.
4 triples for the Hawks and 3 so far for the Tigers. So both teams shooting well from distance. There's a 3-point opportunity. Nope, didn't fall, but another offensive rebound. You're going to get those long rebounds off those long attempts. Those deep attempts and off the glass. Just working it and staying patient is Andrew Lamers.
Lamers with a quick first step, too, able to shake off this defender, Brett, get to the rim. And they're going to call a foul. That's going to be on Van Zeelen, Jack Van Zeelen, Brett.
So his first, but that is the team's 7th. So Xavier in the bonus. 1-and-1 coming up for Ray Zuliger. Depth is going to be interesting, too. Who has the edge in depth? Because both teams like to get up and down. I'm guessing that's probably a little bit of a wash. You don't play that style all year long without having some depth.
Zuliger with his first free throw. 1 of 2.
Zuliger has 3, so here we are, all tied up. 23 apiece as we look at our Verlo Mattress Factory scoreboard. Good double team, a nice find underneath as Van Zeelen working hard. Good defense again by Bunks, forcing that shot to go high off the glass and down the floor. That's Theo Douglas. Ricardo, again, look at how fast Xavier just gets in transition, runs the floor in a basket, and now a foul, and a chance for a 3-point play as Peer picks up his second. Douglas with 9 points already, make it 10. Xavier just stresses you out defensively. They get that rebound, and they are off. And you got to be ready.
We kind of felt that way. It's interesting because, Menasha's coming in with, Xavier's coming in with a bunch of losses, but, look who they lost to, right? West of Pier, Seymour.
That was a game that they had a big lead on Seymour. And Seymour is only ranked, 2nd in the state in Division II?
Absolutely, as that 3-point attempt.
Another, look at Van Zeelen working hard on grabbing that rebound. And if you're Matt Clarn, you got to just be driving you nuts is another opportunity for the Tigers. Van Zeelen. This time a corner 3, and that's Jack Van Zeelen. That's his second triple. He's got 6, and we're all tied up again. How many second chance points do they have tonight so far?
I wish I had a stat for that, but I do not, but it is a lot.
How about Pfefferly answering? Jeez. He's got 8. Back and forth we go. Don't need much space. they all can hit him. Nice feed. Good job by Cruz. He was triple teamed and he finds, is that Nemechek with the bucket? He's got 6. Good job by Nemechek, just kind of following the play. Now Van Zeelen with the steal, 1-on-1 with Bunks. Bunks wisely halts, but that distorted Van Zeelen's shot, and he didn't make it. And another steal, or a turnover.
Brett, 5th for Xavier.
Nice spin move, and knocked away. Boy, Bunks really playing good
Bunks
interior defense, and that's a tough foul on Bunks.
It is.
And that's his second. Textbook stuff by John Bunks. He just holds his spot. He doesn't flinch with the little up fakes. He holds his ground, and making it tough.
We have a timeout, BC.
Who's calling it? Is that the Xavier timeout?
Either way, what an active first half.
Fun first half.
I'm going to update my Twitter account. Follow me at PC Ricardo. Don't forget about my man Brett at PC Brett C. What a great first half, Brett. A lot of fun.
You know, look at Wrightstown's only loss on the year was a 68-59 setback against Clintonville. That was on February 6th.
A very good Clintonville team, by the way.
Yeah, that was upset by Northland Pines.
Yeah,
that was
what happened
crazy.
there?
I don't know. As you mentioned, Xavier falling to a very good Seymour team. Xavier finished second in the Bay behind the Thunder. Thunder ranked second in Division II, gearing up for tomorrow night's big sectional semifinal showdown against Kaukauna, a game that we will stream live at Ashwaubenon High School. More on that to come.
And Kaukauna beat West Appear to get to that semifinal.
Kaukauna has survived two tough games, Notre Dame and West Appear. Wrightstown champions of the Northeastern Conference. They've won or shared the past 3 league titles. And a 3, wow, right away. Jack Van Zeelen having a hot first half. 3 triples. Boy, heck of a pace here in the first half. Both teams, again, red hot from perimeter. Theo Douglas kicks it back out.
You see Corey, Coach Hayes, very active and imploring his defense to get those hands up, right?
And transition for the Tigers, but knocked away. I think that was Theo Douglas getting a hand on that. Look at Matt Klarner there on the bench for the Hawks. I don't know how do you sit down in a game like this?
I think he's saving himself for the second half, Brett. It's going to be very, very tight.
Then I'm looking at Corey Hayes on the other side. He was kind of casually walking up and down the sideline. No big deal.
No, he's been very active, though, when the defense has been on that side of the court, Brett.
He's sitting down, going to take a drink of water. He's been doing it a long time. Both these guys have very successful programs. And what are they going to call? 2-shot foul. That was Matthew Hansen going up on the pull-up jumper, but he was fouled on the shot. Trent Twombly picks up his first. 16 fouls for the Hawks, 8 for the Tigers.
Yeah, you know, Brett and Wrightstown has been down by as many as 8 points this half. Now, with that made free throw, they're up by 3, possibly 4 if you can connect on a second.
Yeah, and again, credit to Coach Hayes. Again, down 8. I thought it's got to be timeout time to settle down the troops, but he knows his team way better than I do, and they've responded well.
No good on that second.
Hansen has 6. Mayers with the basketball just gets around the defender, and they're going to say steps. I could hear the Wrightstown folks across from us. They're doing some reffing too.
6th turnover by Xavier, Brett. Wrightstown has 2. Again, here at Brilliant High School, just east of Appleton, for these 2 outstanding teams.
Offensive
we have,
foul.
yeah,
That's Cruz's second.
turnover for the Tigers. I just got a little bit, his defender was set. Get a little too active, and you get the foul called on you, Brett. 5:12 left in the first half. 32-29 lead for Wrightstown on your Verlo Matrix Factory scoreboard. Brett, I can't remember the last time I covered a sectional game for the boys basketball.
Yeah, usually you're.
It's been a while. Usually I'm at the
you're
girls
busy.
tournament.
Usually you just
Well, I
leave
am.
me and Rosie all by ourselves.
Yep. As
That's Zuliger with the
Zuliger.
ball. Oh, nice feed. Right idea. Just Twombly just couldn't secure, but credit the defense. There was a bunch of hands trying to knock that thing away. So turnover. The Tigers getting some instruction.
7th turnover for Xavier. They got to clean that up in the second half. Van Zeelen. Clean. And what are we going to have
That'd be
here?
a travel. Hey, got a text from our buddy, Rosie.
Ah,
He says, looking great and sounding great, my stream team brothers, and a super sky point to Dano covering for me tonight. Horns up. Rosie, go to bed.
yeah.
We need you tomorrow night. We have a big game coming up again. And another turnover. Wow. Toes are on the line. Yep. Just misfired on that one. It was Jack Van Zeelen. Here come the Hawks. Zuliger kicks it out. That's Douglas. Nope. And offensive rebound. Up. Nope. Pfefferly missing it, and that's going to go to the Tigers.
Well, I think you got the shot that you wanted if you're Xavier. It's just a matter of dropping it, and a good activity down low by the Hawks in terms of rebounding, but then still can't finish when you get the bunny. Van Zeelen.
Van Zeelen, very patient player.
I like him a lot. He's outstanding.
Yeah, he just does the right things. He's just very
of course,
sound.
as we say that, there's a turnover, Brett.
Well, the ball's going all over the place.
Oh, it's staying with Wrightstown.
Yeah, I think
Xavier's not happy.
No, the official, he knew it. He inadvertently pointed the wrong way. I mean, it was off of Wrightstown. You had the whole Xavier crowd and bench right there helping the official out.
With an assist.
Yeah. Pfefferly going to bring it up the floor for the Hawks, and now hands it off to Zuliger. Quickly to Twombly. Good little shot
nice
fake
move.
and foul on, I believe that'll be on Jeremy Van Zeelen.
I thought Twombly that was a nice first step, able to get past his defender. Good recovery by Van Zeelen, though, Brett.
Or Jeremy Van Zeelen with the foul, yeah. That is the 10th team foul also, so 2 shots coming the rest of the way for the Hawks. As Twombly 2 for 2 from the line so far tonight, make it 3 of 3. Hey, stick with us at halftime. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about, including another busy week of live streams as we wind down our streaming season. Oh, you think we'll do some spring games?
That's totally up to you. It's a little more difficult with spring.
It is.
Plus our erratic weather.
Oh, yeah. Plus we have a big sports awards show we're getting ready for, and that takes up a lot of planning in April. We'll talk about that as well. As Twombly 2 of 2 on that trip, 4 of 4 from the line. He's got all 4 of his points from the stripe. 32-31, Wrightstown with the lead as we look at our Verlo Mattress Factory scoreboard. Oh, good find. 3 again. Van Zeelen missed it. Jack Van Zeelen. And what do we have? Another offensive.
It's on Xavier.
Oh, it's on Xavier. So bonus now. That is the 7th team foul against the Hawks. So 1-1 coming up for the Tigers.
Yeah, it looks like Pierre will be going to the line to shoot the 1-on-1.
Theo Douglas with 2 fouls. So Bunks and Douglas 2 fouls apiece. Keep in mind, Wrightstown doing this with Sam Hayes on the bench.
Well, not just that. Xavier doing this with Bunks not really being a factor yet, right?
And Bunks out there with 2 fouls, but Sam Hayes had to check out of the game.
Yes, he did.
Wrightstown standout player. He had to check out of the game with those 2 early fouls. And a big front end miss by Ben Pierce. So here come the Hawks with a chance to take the lead. Zuliger working around that curl. Oh, nice. Whoa, and they're going to get, I think, Nemechek on the foul.
And that's too bad because I think Zuliger kind of botched the bunny there a little bit.
Yeah, so Nemechek picks up his first, and that's going to send Ray Zuliger. That's a 2-shot foul coming up. Zuliger 1 of 2 from the line, make it 1 of 3. He's got 3 points tonight. Winner of this one takes on Sheboygan Falls or Oostburg in a sectional championship game. And Zuliger gets the second. So Zuliger with 4 points, and we are all squared away again. Tough take and a make. Quickly down the floor, Ricardo, that's Nemechek again. He's got 8. Offensive foul now, and is that on Bunks? That will be his 3rd if it is. And now Matt Klarner's got some substituting to do. And that's a huge foul. John Bunks, no points yet tonight.
And Coach Klarner is giving it to the official, trying to get a explanation of why he was called for that foul. But Bunks, this is big, Brett. Well, we talked about Hayes, too, also having to sit out most of that first half. But with 3 fouls now, that margin of error gets even thinner, BC.
Well, even in the second half. You pick up a quick 4th foul, you're going to be on the bench for a while. That was a pretty good look by Ben Pierre. Couldn't get it to drop. Zuliger, deep 3. Little off target. Here come the Tigers. Three again. That's good this time. Pierre hits it. His first triple. And his first bucket. You got to like a shooter to keep shooting, right? Missed on the last trip. Comes right back down.
Well, that's my
Squares away,
mentality,
nails
BC. I just don't make many shots.
No, you don't.
37-32 lead, 5-point lead for now. Lead now for the Tigers.
Don't remind me of our around the world office tournaments, Ricardo.
Brett, that was so long ago, I don't even remember.
I think I still remember your stats. One of like 50.
Something like that.
It's okay.
I had a bad couple years there.
You had a bad shoulder.
Yeah, bad shoulder.
Kind of a big spot here for the Hawks. I mean, it's only a 5-point game, but almost a turnover with Bunks on the bench. See if they can feel good about themselves going into the locker room. Is a tough take by Pfefferly. Wow. Tough shot in traffic.
Brett, that was nice. Had to stem the tide a bit. Now make it a one-possession game.
Yeah, he's
1:45 left here in the first half.
He's got 10.
Oh,
Nemechek,
yeah.
leaner. Whoa, again. Good job just to stay with it by Nemechek. Well, he has been active on that end of the floor. Sean O'Shea, 5'9" senior guard, picks up the foul. That's the 19th foul, but a shooting foul coming up for Nemechek. He's got 8 points on 4 buckets.
Every one of these points so critical, Brett. Do or die in the postseason. And free throws, so important. Nemechek.
Nothing but net. 5-point lead for the Tigers as we look at our Verlo Mattress Factory scoreboard. That's 10 points now for Grant Nemechek. Here are the Wrightstown fans to our right. And boy, they're really extending that pressure.
They got the athletes to do it, though, Brett. That's the thing with Wrightstown.
They do, you're right. And that's good defense because you can't give any one of these guys any sort of space because they can launch it. Zuliger thought about it. Little hesitation. Good interior defense.
Yes. Good recovery.
Pfefferly, another leaner. No good. And there's no. And I wonder if the Tigers want to hold for a last shot here under a minute to play. Tough shot. No good. And almost the offensive rebound, but that was a pretty good look by Hansen. So I got to think. I don't think there is such a thing as holding for a last shot if you're Xavier. They'll take it if they're open. Theo Douglas, baseline move. Van Zielen with a good close. Offensive foul. Wow. Theo Douglas can't believe it. That's his third, Ricardo.
Yeah, we have Xavier, I'm sorry. Looks like Nate Clemens is checking in.
So Bunks and Douglas with 3 fouls here in the first half. And now, good move by, I think, Corey Hayes to bring Sam Hayes in for this last series. You know they're going to hold for a last shot, maybe try to screen him open. All those Hayes boys, they can shoot the rock. And one thing you got to be careful with if you're Sam, don't get too aggressive and pick up your third foul. As Cruz now, I think he wants the basketball here to set this up with 10 seconds to go. Working off the screen, and they're going to get an offensive foul.
Oh, wow, on who? Is it on
the screener.
Okay.
So Jeremy Van Zielen picks up a costly foul. He goes to the bench. Good defense. The defender on the screen held his ground. So with 6.9 seconds to go, Xavier, one last opportunity here this half. Pfefferly has it, working around. He's going to let it fly. No, good defense. There's nowhere for him to go. Nowhere for him to go. And a very entertaining first half, to say the least. Wow.
I'm going to update my Twitter. By the way, you can follow me again at PC Ricardo. Brett's at PC Brettsy. 39-34 lead for Wrightstown.
Yeah, well, it's halftime here. As you do that, Ricardo, I'll tell everybody it's halftime here at Brilliant High School. And a look at our Verlo Mattress Factory scoreboard shows the Tigers leading the Hawks 39-34 in our Varsity Game of the Week Prep Basketball live stream, a WIAA Division 3 sectional semifinal. Thanks again to our sponsor, Verlo Mattress Factory of Appleton, Green Bay, Oshkosh, Fond du Lac, and Sturgeon Bay. Their craftsmen manufacture your bed on site with unmatched quality and customer service. Stop in today for their Mattress Madness sale and save up to $650 on a mattress set purchase while supplies last. And, Ricardo, a chance to win up to an additional $200 off. Also, Verlo Mattress Factory offers free delivery and setup with set purchases and 0% financing for up to 60 months with approved credit. And they can make custom mattresses to fit boats, RVs, semi-trucks, antique beds, and more.
Interesting.
You got some first half thoughts there. It was wild back and forth game.
As we go on to the second half, the foul situation is going to play a big part.
Yeah.
You talked about Xavier having 2 of their critical players with 3 fouls now. And I thought Coach Hayes over for Wrightstown did a good job of managing Sam in terms of not allowing him to get that 3rd foul. Brett, very critical. And I think that bodes well with a 5-point lead for Wrightstown in the second half. It started off with a lot of a rebounding advantage for Wrightstown. You saw that kind of pay off as the first half went on. Xavier is a bit off its mark, I want to say, in terms of offensively. I think not having Bunks kind of added to that because he's so critical. And he has length. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
That kind of affects them too defensively. And now with 3 fouls for him, that limits his defensive, efficiency.
Well, you got to be careful, right? Especially early in the second half. Boy, you don't want to pick up that 4th, and then you're on the bench for most of the second half. So you're right. Foul situation's a big deal for the Hawks with Theo Douglas and John Bunks. And again, looking at the stats coming in, Bunks leading scorer for the Hawks, 19.9 points per game. Theo Douglas at 12.5 points. That's some firepower to be sitting on the bench.
Yeah, rebounding advantage for Wrightstown, 19. Xavier with 15. But Xavier's done a good job of closing that gap. But again, we saw time and time again, Wrightstown has to lead on the offensive end of that because we saw many second chance opportunities.
Yeah, I was going to say how many of those rebounds have come on the offensive end, and I think that's a big key to this game. I think it was what allowed Wrightstown, which was down 8 early in this game, to climb back. All those second chance opportunities, plus hitting triples. Wrightstown with 6 first half threes. DeClean, Jack Van Zillion had 3 of them. Peer had 1, Hansen the other, which really offsets a Xavier team that can light it up from distance as well because they have 5 triples. Mayers, Pfefferly has 2, Douglas has 1, and Sherwood has the other. But a whale of a job defensively on John Bunks. No points. That's shocking because, again, he's a kid that can score really all over the place. Really good player. Well, again, normally Wednesday night is roundtable night, but not tonight.
That is true, Brett. The only online high school sports talk show in the state. We've been having some, last week we had our 2 championship wrestlers on, Marshall Cools and Max Mewson. From Bayport, Cools is from Neenah. Hopefully next week we'll get back on the grind again with, maybe I will ask Fox City Stars.
Why not? The champs,
yeah,
right?
They have them
back
bring
to
the
back.
trophy on board. I'm going to talk to Coach Fox there of Fox City Stars, see if we can get Maddie Jablonski, their great senior player. By the way, Brett, they did a great job of winning that state title. They have a freshman goalie.
Really?
Yeah. She did a heck of a job. It still boggles the mind to think that a freshman goalie can play that big of a role, but she did. And back-to-back state champions for championships, I should say, for Fox City.
Jeff Fox, the coach, is
yes,
that right?
He is.
Yeah. Well, again, that's Wednesdays at 7 o'clock through the high school season. We'll take it all the way through June, or early June, I guess. But that's 7 o'clock Wednesday night, postcrescent.com, facebook.com/postcrescent. And again, tomorrow night, our next varsity game of the week, prep basketball live stream right away. Tomorrow night, we're going to be at Ashwaubenon High School as Seymour takes on Kaukauna. That's a big WIAA Division 2 boys basketball sectional semifinal, second-ranked Thunder against a team that can light it up in Kaukauna. That's another coin flip game for me. That should be a whale of a game. We did a couple Seymour games And I know that the Kaukauna coaching staff was there doing some scouting, so they were anticipating a matchup in the playoffs, and they got it.
Kaukauna has been through this many times, and Seymour, a classic, program that's had success in the past, trying to reclaim some of that past glory.
Live coverage tomorrow night will tip off at 6:45 p.m. on postcrescent.com and greenbaypressgazette.com. That's another multi-market game for us. And then we will be somewhere Saturday, sectional final, maybe Kimberly Nina for the sectional championship. That game right now is scheduled to be held at DC Everest, but pretty confident in knowing that they're going to move that game to the Fox Valley. That'd be silly to have two Fox Valley teams drive into Wausau area when you got plenty of gym space in the valley.
That's a long week for you, my friend.
Hey, that's a fun week for us. But it gives us a chance to see all these fantastic athletes. So it's a good segue into our May 1st Wisconsin Prep Sports Awards show. That's coming up. Planning is well underway. We have released our fall nominees, Player of the Year nominees, and pretty soon we'll be coming out with our winter nominees, so be on the lookout for that. That encompasses athletes in all 10 of our USA Today Network Wisconsin markets: Green Bay, Appleton, Oshkosh, Fond du Lac, Manitowoc, Sheboygan, Wausau, Stevens Point, Marshfield, and Wisconsin Rapids. And really looking forward to that. That's going to be, again, May 1st at the Lambeau Field Atrium in Green Bay. You and I are emceeing the event.
Yes.
Jim Rosenick will be there as part of the production crew. Red carpet and doors open at 6. I know you're going to be hosting the red carpet interviews, and the program starts at 7. And the real star of the show, besides the great athletes, coaches, and teams, is Pittsburgh Steelers star outside linebacker and former Badgers great T.J. Watt.
T.J. Watt. That'll be a very fun night, Brett. You'll be interviewing him as we kind of continue a long, many years of successful award shows.
5th year, yeah. So T.J. Watt, that's going to be fun, and that's going to be a big night. All tickets are going well. So if you want more information, just Google Wisconsin Prep Sports Awards, and then maybe Post Crescent or Press Gazette, whichever you prefer, and you'll find some stories, and that'll also take you to the link. At some point, I got to remember the website, but tickets are available, only $18 a piece. And we just had a meeting at Lambeau the other day, too, so everything's really coming together nicely.
I would be remiss if I did not mention about the girls' state tournament that's coming up Thursday or tomorrow, I should say. It starts Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Brett, we have USA Today Network G10 teams in each division. In Division 1, we have Bayport, the defending state champs in D1. Division 2, we have Hortonville, top-ranked Hortonville, by the way. In Division 3, we have Wrightstown.
Yeah.
One of the top-ranked teams in the state. Division 4, we have Mishicot, and Division 5, we have Wausau Newman Catholic. So we have a good opportunity to see some of the very best teams in the area. And in my opinion, we have 3 that have a real good shot at winning state titles, the first 3 divisions, in my opinion.
Okay.
Though the Wrightstown Frohke injury is going to make that a little bit more difficult for Wrightstown.
Yeah, you feel for her in that program, but they're going to rally, and they got a lot of good players around Bridget. So a lot of athletes that can still light it up. So we'll see how the Tigers do. But good luck to all of our USA Today Network Wisconsin teams. Hey, got a tweet from our friend HS Hoops 25 enjoying the WIAA Division 3 sectional final. Thanks for watching, my friend. We appreciate you very much. And by the way, might as well plug ourselves. Please subscribe to us. Digital, print, whatever you want to do. Any of our USA Today Network Wisconsin products, including the Post Crescent and the Press Gazette. You can go to either website. There's some subscriber options that you find some great deals. Please support local journalism. It's more important now than ever before. Obviously, you get some nice high school content like this. You're going to get Packers coverage, Brewers, Bucks, whatever you want sports-wise. You get great photo galleries, live streams, whatever you're looking for. But also news. There's so many things going on in the world right now, whether it's politics or the coronavirus situation. Please stay informed and just give us a subscription. You won't regret it.
Brett, I love your plea. I love it.
Support us, please. Hey, let me run down the first half scoring for the Tigers. Jeremy Van Zeelen with 2, DeClean with 5, Jack Van Zeelen with 9, Peer with 3, Andrew Lamers with 4, Hansen with 6, Nemechek with 10 to lead the Tigers. For the Hawks, Mayers with 3, Pfefferly has 10, Douglas 10, Zuliger 4, Sherwood 3, and Trent Twombly with 4.
Seconds left here in the first half as we're getting ready to start with Wrightstown with a 5-point lead, 39-34. Again, Thanks to Dan Wusso for those great camera shots. He's filling in for our guy, Jim Rosendick.
Yeah, Dan doing a great job here.
By the way, Rosendick does not have the coronavirus.
Oh, boy, I hope not. Jeez. I think it's just
He's just a little under the weather.
Just a cold, yeah. Some sniffles and some coughing going on. Hopefully another night's rest will do him some good. But that's scary stuff out there, I tell you. My son, who is a freshman at Madison, just texted today and said, well, spring break starts and I'm home a couple weeks, even longer than that. My wife was like, yahoo! But gotta be cautious. Second half starts with the Tigers with the basketball. Hayes kicks it out. That was a good look by Jack Van Zeelen, and another offensive rebound, and Hayes with the bucket. His first of the game, and Ricardo second chance points again.
7-point lead, the largest of the game for Wrightstown, Brett. Good way to start the second half.
You wonder if Bunks, that was just a wayward pass, but does Bunks, who's such a physical player, does that take him out of the game with 3 first half fouls? A deep three by Hayes! Wow! So much for foul trouble. Basket inside and then a deep triple. He's got 5 points, and look at this, up 10 are the Tigers. Good box out by Nemechek on the miss by Mayers, and Wrightstown right down the floor. Cruz, nobody's on him. And we've seen Hayes really get hot in the past. He's a guy that really, when he gets going, you just got to find him and let him go. Good bounce pass to Nemechek, wide open. That looked pretty good.
It did, Brett, and boy, another three-pointer there.
I think it would have been an early timeout by Matt Klarner. But again, going back to Bunks, that's got to take him away, and that was a good look by Bunks to Twomley, who just got lost, but it's got to take him away a little bit from his game.
I think without question. Right now, if you're Xavier, you got to stem this tide, because Hayes, when he's in the lineup, Wrightstown is that much more potent.
Van Zeelen pull-up jumper, no good, but almost another offensive rebound. It does happen. Nemechek got it after Hayes tapped it away. Cruz too strong on that one. Another rebound on the offensive end. This time, Hayes from deep. Wow. And there's a timeout.
Brett.
How about Sam Hayes coming out and taking advantage, though, of those offensive rebounds?
Yeah, Nemechek with 3 fouls in the half, Brett. Wrightstown with 4. All of them were offensive rebounds.
And the Hawks, timeout. Looks like a 30-second timeout for Xavier. Hayes like, no big deal. I sat on the bench the first half for most of the time, and I still got the stroke. 2 triples and a bucket inside, but a lot of that, again, offensive rebounds, second chance opportunities. Wrightstown making Xavier pay. Hey, Tinker's the chance tweeting us. Is Pete Kittle there? Was a great coach at Brilliant before becoming the principal there. Son Eric Kittle used to get some buckets too. He sure did. And Pete is here. Actually had a nice conversation yesterday with Pete when I came here for a live stream check as well. Pete and Jeff Capelli, the athletic director, outstanding job in setting us up and setting this up as far as running a sectional.
What's funny, Brett, is that, Wrightstown and Brilliant had some sectional throwdowns as Bunks.
There's his first bucket. Good aggressiveness. And you wonder if Matt Klarner said, we need you to get going. As Cruz takes it off the glass. Wow.
Well, if you're Xavier, you're kind of looking around for that big run that you usually go on to make this one a one-possession game. It's Bunks.
Ricardo, I think that's exactly what the timeout was. John, we got to get you going. Don't be afraid of those 3 fouls. Because he's come up aggressive now off that timeout.
I mean, Bunks is a kid that averages, 20 points a game?
Close to it, yeah.
Here's Van Zeelen.
He goes up. Good, using his body to get space. Great baseline move. Did you see just that little lean with the shoulder? Nice bucket. He's got 4. And danger time right now for the Hawks here is Mayers working on Cruz. Gets around Cruz.
Nemechek home with the body, Brett.
He did. He knows it. But just when you think Mayers has an opening, that closes off quickly. So Nemechek with 2 as Mayers going to the line. He just has that 3-point bucket in the first half, looking to add to his point total. Good job by Maris to knock them both down. 2 big free throws, but still an 11-point lead as we look at our Verlo Mattress Factory scoreboard.
Now, if you're the Hawks, there's plenty of time. Now it's a matter of making these defensive possessions count, chipping away at that 11-point lead.
Oh, Rice reversed, but another board. Look at Van Zeelen. Offensive rebounds, Ricardo, are killing the Hawks. Bunks being very aggressive, and you can see now he's getting into a rhythm. I'm telling you, that's what that timeout was about. He's a different player now coming out of that timeout, and Xavier needs him.
Well, he's playing for his team's life right now, Brett. Again, Hawks, and Bunks is a senior, so this is his final game. He's got to lay it all out on the line as that three-point basket, no good, and
almost a good save.
That almost would have been another offensive rebound, Brett.
Dan Tomey. Hey, come on, Dan. Good choice by my son to go to Madison since UWSP Athletics had so many violations. Easy. 4-time Division III champions pointers. I want you. That's how you reference them, my friend.
Cheating.
He loves it down in Madison. And my other son, by the way, is a Gopher. He's a University of Minnesota graduate. So I got Gophers and Badgers.
Chipmunk U.
Good, very good school, by the way. Very nice campus. Pfefferly over to Twombly, who's working around that high screen, and Hawks looking to cut into this deficit. Down 11 is Bunks. He's going to take it and dunks it down, and he is feeling it now. He looks like a different player.
Brett, he threw that one down with authority.
Oh, he's looking like his old self now. I tell you, he came out a bit tentative. Turnover. Pfefferly working it up and almost the bucket. And you can see Bunks trying to get the crowd going, trying to get his student section going. Hansen picks up the foul. That's going to put Pfefferly to the line. Pfefferly with those 10 first half points. You know Xavier's got a run in him. If you're the Tigers, though, how desperately do you want Bunks to pick up that fourth foul, right?
Well, that would change the complexion of the
would.
game.
So credit Bunks for getting back to his aggressive style and holding on to those 3 fouls.
Chipping away at that lead. It's now down to 8 points.
I believe it was as much as a 13-point lead for the Tigers in the second half.
Nemechek. Van Zeelen.
Ooh, rims out. Offensive rebound again, and the foul.
Possible?
That was number 12, Ben Peer, a 6-foot senior guard, coming down with the board, and not only that, but draws a foul too.
You're Klarner. That is inexcusable that you have that many kids around the paint. And I mean, look at this, Brett. I'm showing you the disparity between the rebounds.
It's not even
it's
close.
7-1 in favor of Wrightstown, and many of those offensive. I believe all but one are offensive.
Is that this half?
Yes.
Wow. Good ball movement, spreading the floor. Tigers, whoa, deep 3, rainbows it, too strong. Bunks with a big rebound. That shot was Matthew Hansen. Down the floor, Douglas, offensive foul. Good positioning by Ben Peer to draw that foul. He held his ground. He was there.
And
that's the 4th foul for Theo Douglas now, so he's going to have to come out of the game. That's one of the weapons that's going to have to take a seat for Matt Klarner.
Yeah, we saw Twombly imploring his student section to give him some love to get the cheers going because they need that momentum right now. Plenty of time left, though, Brett. 8-point lead. I mean, it's near the 12-20 mark. Plenty of time.
That's nothing for Xavier. 3 ball. Nope, that was another. Jeez, unbelievable. 3 again. Got it. How many times have we seen? That's Matthew Hansen. Have we seen the Tigers' offensive rebound followed up with a 3? That shot was by Alex Sherwood, no good, and it's going to go with Wrightstown. But again, I wish we had that stat right now because I think it would be alarming how many second chance points Wrightstown has scored tonight.
Well, I do know it's 8-2 in the rebounding advantage in the second half, and it's a 27-17 advantage for the game, Brett.
Thanks to everybody. Big online crowd tonight watching on postcrescent.com, greenbaypressgazette.com. We appreciate your support. Also our Facebook pages as well. Fun game here at Brilliant High School. Fantastic atmosphere. And Brilliant really doing an excellent job again of hosting this game. Really good site. There's another three. Wow.
Oh, boy.
Ben Peer. His second triple. He's got 6. And that's a good little response by the Tigers after it looked like Xavier was ready to make a run of its own. As Bunks spots up. No good. Rebound. And here come the Tigers. Nemechek going one-on-one. Great hands by Zuliger. Right down to Bunks. Up and down. And Matt Klarner wants a timeout. Talk about creating offense off your defense.
But, Brett, those 2 3-pointers are killer for Wrightstown. I mean, it went from an 8-point game to a 14-point game, now down to a 12-point game. But now, once you get within 10 minutes, every one of these possessions are going to be absolutely critical.
Kind of an interesting timeout for Matt Klarner. He only has 2 left. Corey Hayes yet to use any of his timeouts. He's got 5. Looking at the team fouls, 2 apiece. 59-47, Wrightstown with the lead as we look at our Verlo Mattress Factory scoreboard. See, you missed this stuff, didn't you?
Oh, it's exciting, I'll tell you that much for sure.
Yeah, I hope you're not in a hurry to get out of here because it's going to be a traffic jam getting back on Highway 10. So take it easy. Maybe you can help me take back some of this equipment.
Perhaps.
Hey, by the way, Rosie, I know you're watching and listening. I carried every single bag in one trip, including my backpack. Pete Kittle was even impressed when I walked in.
Let me tell you, Brett, your man card is restored.
Yes, thank you. I must have had 6 bags. And thankfully, Pete was opening the door, getting some tables in, and he just said, come right on in.
$11:15 left here in the second half. 59-47 lead for Wrightstown. Sectional semifinal. The winner moves on to play Sheboygan Falls, and I'm sorry, I forgot the other team.
Oostburg,
the Flying Dutchman.
Talk about that in a little bit. I'm not sure what the officials are checking out. Maybe I think timeout situations. Looks like they got things all squared away. Yeah, you look at the D3 sectionals. Well, you got Wrightstown, Xavier, Sheboygan Falls, Oostburg on one side, Prescott, St. Croix Central, Wisconsin Dells having a nice season, and Altoona. You got Boyd Turner, Edgerton, Waupun, Columbus, Brown Deer, Kettle Moraine, Lutheran, Racine St. Catherine, St. John's Military Academy. Racine St. Cat's undefeated, ranked number 1 in Division 3, and you know who the coach is.
Oh, sure.
Nick Bennett, son of Jack Bennett, former Spash star Nick Bennett and
Good
Pointer
to see
star.
him doing well.
Bennett ball lives on. I had a nice conversation with Jack Bennett recently. First time we had chatted in a while. Great guy. Hayes working off the glass. Offensive board, again off the glass. Bunks with the rebound. Or check that. That was Sherwood with the board. And Bunks working inside. They're going to call a foul on Van Zeeland. Bunks did a nice job of selling it. Van Zeeland kind of getting underneath, though, and pushing it. And Van Zeeland not happy with that call. And that's going to be his 3rd. So I think Van Zeeland is going to have to come out of the game. He does. Zuliger lean. Wow, tough shot. Good defense. Again, holding firm.
Yeah, he wanted the foul on that, Brett.
I think officials have done a good job. They call a nice game tonight. Cruz steps through, but Bunks with the block, but hits the baseline. No, Sherwood with the block.
Sherwood, yeah.
He and Bunks kind of look alike. And now Bunks going to check out. That's a good job by Matt Klarner, getting his one of his star players just a few minutes maybe. Don't want to pick up a silly 4th foul here. Hayes with it. Double teamed in that short corner area. And you can hear Corey Hayes, the coach at Wrightstown, yelling, patience. You're up 12. You don't have to rush anything. See if you can find that really good look.
Boy, Wrightstown very patient, Brett. They know they can bleed some of this clock.
Yeah. Clock's your
Why
friend.
not do it?
Clock's your friend right now. Hayes, he's going to let it fly, and they're going to call a foul, I think, on, is that Pfefferly?
Yeah.
That's where the offensive rebounding really comes into play. I mean, now you see Xavier trying to get physical, getting the defensive, hitting the defensive glass, but instead, foul's called. Both teams with 3 fouls apiece halfway through the second half. Hayes coming off that screen. That was a good shot. Just couldn't get it to fall, and Sherwood with a good rebound. Plenty of time for the Hawks, down 12. They can score points in bunches. Sherwood can light it up, too, as he passed it now. The Hawks swinging it around. Twombly thought about it. Good job just to keep control of it. He almost lost it, and that's a foul on Hayes.
Yeah, and they got to be careful here. Xavier does, because they have 2 turnovers in the half. They had a bunch in the first half. They got each possession is going to be absolutely critical for them as they try to come back from this 12-point deficit, Brett.
4 guys checking in for the Tigers.
Oh, boy.
And Van Zielen back in quickly. I'm wondering when Bunks is going to hit the floor again for the Hawks. And you need him a key stretch here as Xavier looks to chip away. Oh, Cruz anticipated the whole way. Steal and the basket. Four points for Cruz, and that's a huge hoop for the Tigers. Back up to a 14-point lead. Good anticipation as Mayers takes it up and in. Quickness to get around that defender, Ricardo. Nobody there to pinch him off. 7 points for Mayers. Cruz, tough shot. Wow!
A lot of courage in that young man's body, Brett, to go up among the trees.
Unreal. 3 for the Hawks. Too strong and good box out. That was Jack Van Zielen, the junior. Down the floor, Van Zielen, his brother running it off the glass. They said it was blocked.
Okay. Third big rebound, though.
That might have been Sherwood again holding his ground.
Yeah.
Deep 3 for the Hawks. No good. And the Van Zielen brothers fighting for the board there.
These one and done are not good possessions for Xavier, Brett.
If I'm Wrightstown, I'm going to milk it again here. You're up 14 points. Never mind, Cruz loses it.
Refs are letting them play a little bit, Brett. Letting a lot of physicality go on.
Oh, good transition ball. Just couldn't get it to fall, and you can see Mayers clapping his hands. Thought he had it behind the back. Cruz showing some handles. Up, and he is fouled.
Now he's taking over, Brett. He's starting to run the court. And I sense some frustration with Xavier, Brett. Things are just not going well for them, and maybe Bunks can turn this around as he checks back in.
Yeah, I think it's time for him to come in.
Both him and Zuliger. 7:45 left, Brett. They got to make their move now. 63-49, 14-point lead for Wrightstown on your Verlo Mattress Factory scoreboard.
Cruz, a unanimous first teamer in the NEC. Sam Hayes also on the first team for the Tigers. Is down the floor. Zuliger, nope. He's fouled by, I think, Nemechek.
And Klarner is asking
He
that
wants
the bucket,
goaltending, yeah, doesn't he?
And they're talking about that the referees are. I thought it was.
Yeah, I did too, actually, but let's see what they call. It's a two-shot foul right now. Well, there's going to be a 2-shot foul. Klarner kind of his hands out in disbelief.
Well, things aren't going Xavier's way right now, Brett. They need a little bit of a spark here. Zuliger hits his first. Misses his second.
Zuliger with 5. Travel, wow. There's a quick turnover. I didn't even see it. I was marking my book.
I didn't either. I missed that one completely, Brett. Was that a makeup call, Brett, would you say?
I'm not sure. Deep 3. No good. That was Pfefferly. Xavier just can't get into that three-point rhythm as well. Again, you think that Wrightstown's going to show some patience here, up 13. Let that clock run a little bit. Hard to believe Wrightstown has yet to get to state on the boys' side. Isn't that amazing with all those
well, I'll tell you what.
really good teams they've had over the years?
They beat Xavier You'd think they'd be favored against whoever, Oostburg or Sheboygan Falls.
Both Oostburg, Sheboygan Falls ranked, though.
Very true.
And 3 rims out. That was a good look by Matthew Hansen. Maybe the folks watching live online can tweet us. How do Oostburg and Sheboygan Falls look?
And an air ball for Bunks.
As you're watching this game, and if you've seen those two teams play, how does that matchup going to look? Xavier, of course, recent trips, they had 3 in a row. 15, 16, and 17. 3 straight trips to the Division III finals. And they won the title in 2017. Remember, they really took it to Prescott that year.
And they beat Ripon. That great Ripon team, too.
Boy, Matt Clarner, what a run he's had. I believe this is his 9th year. Corey Hayes, I believe he's won 300 career games this year. I think he has 307 career wins now coming into this game. This is his 20th year, I want to say. And now you can kind of see, not taking the air out of the basketball, but no rush. It's Nemechek, too easy. Kind of caught the defense napping.
He's kind of an underrated guy,
Yeah,
Nemechek.
nice
I mean, he does everything well. I don't want to use a proverbial glue that sticks everything together, but man, is he a good player all around,
yeah,
too.
6'4", and Mayers with a quick bucket. But a timeout now for the Hawks, and with 6 minutes and 3 seconds to go, just 1 timeout remaining. Oh, okay, check that now. Check that.
Now they did correct a timeout, didn't they?
So timeout. So okay, they must have mismarked that at the scores table. So actually, Wrightstown had burned a timeout earlier. So I'll fix that on the scoreboard. So 4 timeouts remaining for Wrightstown, 2 for Xavier. At least that's what it says now on the scoreboard here in the gym. Yeah, let's look at more of that all-conference team. I don't have anything from the Bay, but I saw that the Northeastern released it. For Wrightstown, Tyler Cruz and Sam Hayes, first-teamers. Cruz are unanimous. Zach Mashlin, as I mentioned, Offensive Player of the Year for Freedom. And then Jeremy Van Zeelen of Wrightstown, Defensive Player of the Year. Second-teamers, nobody from Wrightstown. Honorable mention, Jeremy Van Zeelen. And I'm guessing that the Bay Conference, there'll be a number of Xavier kids on that squad as well. Team fouls, 5 for Wrightstown, 4 for the Hawks. And again, timeouts, 4 remaining for Wrightstown, 2 for Xavier. We got it all fixed on the board. Full court pressure, easily broken by the Tigers, but they're in no hurry, Ricardo. What? I checked that. I guess they like the shot by Mason DeClean. Zuliger right down the floor, splits the defense and gets it to fall.
Zuliger gets the rebound and goes right down, Brett. Very impressive.
That's the thing. They can shoot and they can get out quickly. Almost knocked away, and they're going to call a foul. So that'll be the 5th on Xavier.
We get a
line change.
Yeah, I was going to say. Good way to describe it, Brett.
Yeah, 4 new Tigers coming into the
Saw
game.
a lot of this last week at state hockey.
Okay, so now you're seeing the depth of Wrightstown. Playing a lot of guys.
Going 9 deep, Brett. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, Xavier going maybe 6 deep. I got 2 guys out with their sweats off as well, so maybe 8 deep. Wrightstown, a deeper team. Hayes back in. Cruz going to work that block. Does a good job to hold his pivot foot and to find Van Zeelen as they'll reset. You can hear Matt Clarner calling for some pressure. Van Zeelen so good at the baseline drive. Kicks it out to Cruz. Short on that. Bunks with the rebound. And you can see already Beverly looking down the floor. He had Mayers for a second. That's how fast Xavier gets down. Quick bounce pass. Twombly. He's got an opening. Good triple team. Gets it to fall. Ricardo, 9-point game.
Well, they got time. Now it's a matter of not wasting these opportunities. Defensively, you got to play well, avoid fouls.
8 points for Twombly for this half.
Yeah, Brett, 6-0 run here by the Hawks. Well, if you're Xavier also, you need a big tray or something. Wrightstown, though, I like right here. Take your time.
Yeah, again, no rush, up 9. The problem is, though, of course, does that stall, and that's an offensive foul on Hayes. Wow.
Look, let me tell you.
That's 4th on Hayes, Ricardo.
No disrespect to Xavier, but that was a phenomenal acting job by Zuliger. That was phenomenal. And he really sold that. But, hey, the 4 fouls on Hayes, and that's what you need. Now you get the turnover, get the ball back, try to chip away at this lead again.
Tinker's chance wanting. Didn't Xavier have a 6'8 freshman in summer league? They did. But then his family ended up moving out west to Colorado or California
I
or
remember
something.
that before the season started.
Oh, steal, big steal. And I'll check UHS Hoops in a second. He had an answer on the Sheboygan Falls Oostburg. I knew he would because he's a pretty knowledgeable basketball high school fan. 5 seconds, not doing anything.
And Coach Hayes is like, you got to help him.
Yeah, HS Hoops saying about a potential Oostburg Falls game. That said either will be a tough test for the Tigers. Falls plays a tough and long zone D, good shooters, experienced backcourt. Oostburg has outstanding size. Jaeger is a stud, going to be an incredible final if it is Wrightstown.
And I'll tell you what, Oostburg beat Sheboygan Lutheran.
Yes.
Earlier this year.
Jacob Ignacevic led Sheboygan Lutheran. Look at that. Here we go. Beverly with the triple.
Brett, I said they needed that.
And we got a game.
2-possession game.
And a good timeout by Corey Hayes. Full timeout. We'll talk about it in a second, but Ignacevic, I tweeted it out, 8 points away from 1,000 on the season. Only Anthony Pieper and Mickey Crow have done that in State Boys history.
Incredible.
Careful there of the clock there, Ricardo.
Oh, I got it. Hey, listen, at one point it was a 63-49 game. Now it's a 10-2 run by Xavier to get back into this one, Brett.
Here's the dilemma. I liked what Wrightstown was doing and kind of just being patient, but it did seem to take them out of their rhythm a little bit. Now there's been offensive fouls, there's been some turnovers, and Xavier's been able to convert, make this a game. I think Wrightstown led by as many as, 13, I want to say?
Oh, they led by as many as 14.
14-point lead?
Yeah.
Okay. Looking at the team fouls, 6 for Wrightstown, 5 for the Hawks. Timeouts left, 3 for the Tigers, 2 for Xavier. 65-59 lead for Wrightstown as we look at our Verlote Mattress Factory scoreboard. And if you thought the first, if you thought most of this game was intense, wait for these final 3 minutes and 32 seconds. It's really going to get dialed up now.
Yeah, Brett, at one time, Wrightstown led 59-45.
Wow. Oh, wow. Just near steal by Mayers, but good hands by Cruz. Hey.
Oh,
another foul?
Yeah, it was an offensive foul.
So
now
Nemechek has his 4th foul. And that's the 7th team foul, so offensive.
Bunks, they're going to need him now, Brett. Nice time for him to get hot. Plenty of time. 6-point lead for the Tigers.
Game, as you said. Beverly, he's going to stroke it from 3.
Ooh.
Wow. There was a battle between Twombly and Cruz.
There
no
was.
foul called. Contact Cruz. Good take off the glass and a huge bucket. He kind of adjusted at the last second using the backboard, too. I like it. 8 points this half for Cruz. All of his points coming in this half. Beverly letting it go short. And a big rebound, and here come the Tigers, and they're going to get a foul on Zuliger. Zuliger is his 2nd. That's the 6th team foul. Got to chase some turkeys off our platform, Ricardo. These kids next to us are getting a little bouncy at our table.
Yeah.
Now I'm the grumpy old guy, apparently.
Little Rugrats, huh?
Yeah, at least they listen to me.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not usually the case nowadays, is
Right,
it?
you're very intimidating.
Yeah, right.
And that's
going to be Zuliger. So now that's the 7th team foul. Bonus throws coming. That's Zuliger's 3rd. That's going to send Jeremy Van Zielen to the line. He's got 6 points. And let's see if Van Zeeland can knock them down.
Free throws, Brett. Free throws.
Wow, looking at Sam Hayes. For some reason, I thought he was a senior. He's only a junior. He's going to be coming back. Oh, that rimmed out, but oh, look at Cruz battling for the rebound. Up and in. No, he missed it. Point blank, I thought he had that. Pfefferly rims out. Big time rebound.
That Lamers?
Yeah, they're not going to call it. Right down the floor. And there's a hoop by Van Zeeland. This time Jack Van Zeeland. Was that Lamers that came down with that rebound?
I believe that was. Andrew
Big,
Lamers.
Big time board and playing some good defense. Nice move by Zuliger. Quick.
Okay, we're down to 8 points. A 2-10, you got a shot here. But Xavier really wasting some opportunities here, Brett.
Well, they've had some good looks at threes, just can't get him to fall. Is this going to be a full timeout for the Hawks? I think they have one timeout. I believe that's a full timeout coming as well. Ooh, what a sequence that was. Which included me yelling at a little kid, too. Multitasking, my friend. We appreciate, again, everybody checking us out live tonight. Big online audience.
Brett,
Love
they
it.
now know you as the mean guy. The mean, wait, the mean old guy.
They're going to be pointing at me as they walk out of the gym. He yelled at me. I didn't yell. I just gave you a stern look. Get off our platform. You're ruining our cameras. Sometimes, Ricardo, you just got to put your foot down.
Hey, you're a dad. You know how to do it.
4 second-half triples for the Tigers. Looking at the Xavier, no, 1 3-point basket this half. That was Charlie Pfefferly. That's a little surprising.
Eight-point lead for Wrightstown. 2:10 left on your Velometric scoreboard.
You don't think high school sports is a big deal? Check this out. Check all the sectionals out tonight, or this week. They're going to be jam-packed gyms. We're going to have big numbers on the stream. Double team. Travel. Wow.
Yeah.
Brett got double team.
Yeah, and I thought that was the right call.
I'm surprised that Wrightstown didn't burn a timeout there.
Brett, because Xavier defenders were just holding their own.
Yeah, good job on that trap in the corner. Cruz had nowhere to go and just got tripped up, and a travel call, so a big turnover.
Zuliger.
Boy, so quick. 3 by Pfefferly, short. And almost a save by Mares. It just went off of Pfefferly's foot.
You know, Brett, you think it's too early just to concentrate on threes, or I would have just tried to gone for any point possible.
But they can shoot threes. They're a three-point shooting team, and they're open shots. I know Matt Klarner likes those looks. Just can't get him to fall right now. Again, a trap there. Good job by the Tigers. Ooh, they're all over the place. Now Cruz has it.
That's who you want it with the ball, Brett.
And now there's a game of keep away going on. I think Wrightstown's going to have some free throws coming.
Oh, they call a foul.
Yep.
Pierre got pushed.
That's the thing, too. When you're in that situation, you got all those bodies. Just be calm. Sometimes you see these kids panic, and then they just inadvertently throw it away. So good job by Ben Pierre just to hold his ground again, really, and draw the foul. So bonus situation coming up for Pierre. And too strong. But the Olga Cruz with the rebound.
They just always seem to be at the right place at the right time. It's not so much a physicality thing. They just seem to know where it's going to end up on the floor.
That's just hustle, though, right? I mean, that's just hustle. You're going after it. Not all these kids have that ingrained in them where they're just going to go after that ball with everything they've got. And you see Cruz is kind of epitomizes that. Chased down the loose ball. Now he's shooting the one-on-one and hits it. Big free throw.
Tyler Cruz, a 5'11" senior guard. Friend of the round table, Brett.
And how about Cruz stepping up and knocking down 2 big free throws? He got all 10 of his points this half. And a big 10-point cushion, 4-possession game now with 90 seconds to play. Now or never for Xavier. They got to hit some threes.
You got to get a shot up.
Bunks was calling for it. No good. Cruz has it. Whoa! Big collision there between Cruz and Zuliger, but Zuliger is going to pick up the foul, and that is the 10th team foul now against the Hawks. And right now it's looking pretty good for Wrightstown. You step to the line, Ricardo, knock down these free throws, it's over.
Brett, 22-10 advantage for Wrightstown in the rebounding department, and 41-25 overall.
Cruz misses the first. Again, Cruz with 10 points all this half. Second one is good, so he's got 11, and that's an 11-point advantage as we look at our Verlo Mattress Factory scoreboard. Zuliger looking for a shot, bounces, no good. And Zuliger, that's going to be his 5th. He's out. Zuliger, a junior, he's going to be a load next year. Mares, just a junior. Pfefferly, just a sophomore, Ricardo. You're going to miss Bunks and Douglas. Those are seniors, obviously. All your seniors you'll miss. A lot of these guys coming back. Trent Twombly's going to be back. And then you look at Wrightstown, a number of their key guys. Some of their guys are coming back, too. I wouldn't be surprised if these two teams meet in the sectional again, as Cruz at the line shooting a pair. Wow. That is a friendly bounce.
Yeah, Cruz has an interesting way of, he has interesting form. I would say it was a bit unique, wouldn't you say?
That's a strange spin off his fingers. And a travel.
Oh, my goodness.
That on Bunks? Bunks can't believe it.
Yeah.
Well, Ricardo's looking like the winter of Wrightstown's continuing, right? State champs in wrestling, girls basketball at the state tournament, and the boys about to be one step shy from reaching the finals as well, or the state tournament as well. That's one heck of a winter for the Tigers. We did a story on that. You can look that up on postwrestling.com, greenbaypressgazette.com. That's going to be on Bunks.
Bunks, yep. Is that his 5th?
That is his 4th.
That will send Jack Van Zeelen, 5'10" junior guard, to the line.
He's had 11 points. Had those 3 triples in the first half. Really a nice game. The junior, as you said, Ricardo, so he's coming back.
They got a lot of nice, like, I don't even call them role players. They get a lot of trust. The coaches have a lot of trust in them.
Pretty good chemistry.
Because even though Hayes, I guess you could say he is the leading star, they have a lot of balance.
Yeah. There's Van Zeelen good on the pair.
14-point lead, the biggest lead. Tied for the biggest lead of the night.
Pfefferly, or I should say Douglas with a miss, and that's saved. And at what point do you kind of call off the dogs here? And as the Wrightstown fans know that this one is pretty much a done deal.
Now I think Klarner's putting in the reserves, Brett. Van Zeelen's first free throw up and good. Brett, that's got to make you happy, my friend.
Love good free throw shooting. Love it. I'm kind of a nerd that way. I'm a nerd in many ways, but games are won and lost at the line so many times. I love seeing teams be able to step to the line, stroke it. Not saying you got to make them all, but I think you should. 70% is fair, wouldn't you say? Hit 7 out of 10. I think that's more than fair. I even think you should go 8 out of 10.
Brett, and by the way, your cereal at night cereal bowl pretty much cemented you as a nerd.
Yeah, thank you. Might have one tonight, a bowl of cereal. That's all my stomach can handle, a little bit light. I like the lighter stuff. I can't eat that heavy stuff late at night like you can, as Theo Douglas knocks one down.
Oh, I can't do that anymore. I'm getting old, my friend. It's hard for me to eat after 9 o'clock or something because then things go haywire.
I think they turned off the air conditioning in this place.
Yeah, getting a little warm.
Real warm in here, like a sauna.
Again, shout out to our guy, Dan Russo.
Yeah, he did a great job tonight, Dan.
We appreciate him. Don't forget about Bill Glasheen.
Might have to go buy him a Shamrock Shake across the street at the Mickey D's. Tell you what, we talk so much, a lot about Division I basketball, Kimberly Nina, and Kaukauna Seymour, but D3 has got some high-level stuff, doesn't it? I mean,
it does.
Year in and year out.
In our area, for sure.
Oh my gosh, there's so many good D3 programs, regardless of the sport. Good athletes. You look at this is a high-level basketball game tonight. Very high-level basketball. There's Bridget Krolke coming on in across the way.
Oh yeah, I see her. Great kid.
Oh, and it was just right at the end of practice too. They said, well, they were just winding down the other day, and man. But good luck to Mike Krolke and the Wrightstown girls. Who are they playing tomorrow?
I can't remember. Oh man, hold on.
What time is that game? Do you remember that?
It's on Arcadia. It's at 3:30, I want to say.
Stop on by the Resch Center up at Oshwabanon. Here come the reserves for the Tigers. This Cruz looking to hit a couple more.
Oh, Lake Mills. I'm sorry.
Lake
that
Mills?
came in on me. Lake Mills.
What was Wrightstown seeded? 2?
Yeah, because I think Platteville is ranked number 1. They're undefeated.
Yeah.
Platteville, and I think that's a very good team. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think they played quite the schedule that Wrightstown.
Yeah,
had.
the schedule of teams over here play in northeast Wisconsin, a little bit different than southwest part of the state. No
well, it's
doubt
not just
about
that.
it,
I think Wrightstown. Remember, the girls. Their only loss was to Appleton East and Freedom. Appleton East.
New Berlin Eisenhower. No, Appleton East beat Freedom.
That's what it was. I'm
New
sorry.
New Berlin Eisenhower, though, a very good D2
Yes,
team.
you're right. I'm sorry. You're correct. Thanks for correcting me.
Yep.
Right, New Berlin Eisenhower, which I think made.
They might be still in sectionals. Or no, are they at state?
No. They made the sectional semis, I want to say.
Did they fall then? Okay.
Yeah.
In Division 2 is Cruz. Hits them both. Yeah, so they're battle tested on the girls' side. And the boys are battle tested. Well, boy, you've seen those Wrightstown reserves. They got smiles on their faces. They're having a good time as they run down the clock and put this one away.
Hey, my guy, big old number 35, Sam Kuzenau's in there, Brett.
And
that's how this one will end.
That is the horn.
78-66 is your final. Wrightstown moving on to the final. Where is that going to be again?
That's going to be 2 Rivers against either Oostburg or Sheboygan Falls.
Good game, Brett, and
yeah, I'm just gonna add up the point totals here in a second. You can give us a follow, PC Brettsy at PC Ricardo. Ricardo's updating his Twitter right now. And then I know Ricardo, you get some thoughts, and you got to go down and talk to some of the guys.
First off, Xavier, congratulations on a great season. I think they kind of fell victim to the rebounding advantage.
Big time.
That Wrightstown had, because just too many offensive boards. You can't allow that against a good team like this. But fine team. I think a team that has some pieces for next year as well. And then you look at Wrightstown, the legit D3 championship contender, Brett. They have done it all year. They've played some tough teams. And they have the roster, the balance. Remember, Brett, they got this win with Hayes not playing a lot of the first half.
Yeah.
So they got the roster to do it, and I wouldn't be surprised if they can put it all together and get that gold championship next week at the Kohl Center.
Just making sure everything adds up here for me.
So again, they'll be playing either Oostburg. Who's the other team? Why am I drawing a blank?
Sheboygan Falls.
Sheboygan Falls at Two Rivers.
Yeah.
That game will be played tomorrow, that Oostburg-Sheboygan Falls sectional semifinal. And then that championship will be Saturday at Two Rivers. I wonder how that game is going to play out, Brett, with Wrightstown making it to the final. If their girls team makes it to the final, then they're going to have to maybe alter that game as well. Don't be surprised.
Well, yeah, so Wrightstown has to wait. I wonder if the Oostburg-Sheboygan Falls coaches were here tonight, getting an early opportunity to scout these teams live.
Brett, I will bid you adieu. Well, not for too long because I'll come back here and help you, but
yeah,
I got to go get that scorebook and all that other stuff. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, everyone, thanks for checking us out. Have a great week. We'll see you back here, tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yeah, I'll talk about that here in a second. Let me run down the scoring. First for Wrightstown, Jeremy Van Zeelen with 6, DeClean with 5, Jack Van Zeelen with 14, Cruz with 14, Peer with 6, Andrew Lamers with 4, Hansen with 9, Nemechek with 12, and Hayes with 8. For the Tigers, Mayers with 9, Pfefferly with 14, Severn with 2, Bunks with 8, Douglas with 13, Zuliger with 9, Sherwood with 3, and Trent Twombly with 8. With the win, the third-ranked Tigers, Wrightstown improves to 24-1, and again, they're taking on either 6th-ranked Oostburg or 10th-ranked Sheboygan Falls on Saturday in a sectional final at Two Rivers. Tip-off is scheduled for 1 p.m. Xavier finishes its season at 19-6. As for us, join us again tomorrow night as second-ranked Seymour takes on Kaukauna in a WIAA Division II boys basketball semifinal. Our live coverage will tip off at 6:45 p.m. from Ashwaubenon High School. And remember, you can access our previous Game of the Week live streams on our USA Today Network Wisconsin website. Just go to the sports section and scroll down until you see the Watch Our Varsity Game of the Week Prep live streams link. And once again, thank you to our sponsor, Verlo Mattress Factory of Appleton, Green Bay, Oshkosh, Fond du Lac, and Sturgeon Bay. Be sure to stop in today for their Mattress Madness sale. So that does it for us. Appreciate everybody watching live tonight. And again, join us again tomorrow night, tip time, or live coverage, 6:45, Seymour and Kaukauna, postcrescent.com, greenbaypressgazette.com, and both Facebook pages as well. So for Ricardo and for Dan Wusso and the crew with USA Today Network Wisconsin, I am Breck Christopherson saying so long from Brilliant High School, where once again the final score tonight, Wrightstown 78, Xavier 66. Thanks for watching, everybody.